Yo, what's up? This is Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. For the next hour, my goal in life is to change the way you think about things. For the next hour, I want my rants and my opinions to broaden your horizon and to get into contact with me. I promise you, I'm a man of my words when I say it's not hard. It's not rocket science. All you have to do is get the Hoppe Radio app in the Google Play or iPhone shop by searching up Hoppe Radio. Hoppe Radio. There you can chat me live. Or if you have a Twitter account, which I would assume you do, tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Or also, if you're watching on Facebook, I want you to comment me live, and I will try to get to the comments in real time. So if you're watching the Hoppe TV video portion of this show, watch it and comment live. Help Happy Hour win again its best local podcast here in Tampa Bay by the Creative Loafing. All you got to do is go to tinyurl.com/happyhour2017. It's tinyurl.com/happyhour2017. I don't even want to jump the shark and get too excited, but help me get on the ballot. I'd be honored, as that's my crush word. All right, we have so much to get into, but I've been getting some comments lately. Because I did a lot of interviews recently, and now I'm trying to do more live shows because it seems like that's what draws the most traction. And I've been getting comments recently. People are like, I can't take you seriously with the background of your apartment that you do on Hoppe TV. I can't take you seriously with the way things look. It's like, listen, Linda, listen to this. This setup costed me $600 here with the laptop, and with the board, and with everything. This costed $600. And I had to use my Uber money, and I had to ask my mom, so it was an utter pain in the ass. So I'm trying, I'm just saying. The comments are very annoying, but I do appreciate you guys reaching out. All right, we have so much to get into, and I see this article here. It's just hypocrisy at its finest. Because when you're in high school, you're told not to drink and drive. And you're not supposed to drink and drive in general. But in high school, before prom or before homecoming, they'll bring you into the auditorium or the theater, and they go, we know you guys are going to underage drink at prom or at homecoming, but make sure you always have a ride and never drink and drive. That's what they say. And sometimes they maybe would bring in a DUI victim, somebody who went to jail and drunk drove, or they might bring in somebody who lost a family member because of it. They always were very preachy about it. So whenever I see these dirty, rotten teachers getting in trouble, or these principals of schools in St. Petersburg getting DUIs 2 and 3 years, you have to wonder if you really should be a teacher. One has to wonder if you should even be working near schools, especially when you're a principal. It says here, a Pinellas school employee was taken in over the weekend on suspicion of drunk driving under the influence. Authorities took in Mary Jean Taylor. And it doesn't matter where she was taken in, because if you're listening in a different city, you don't care. Early Saturday morning, after St. Petersburg police say she was driving recklessly and she kept hitting the curb. And she damaged her car's tires. And she is a principal, one of the 5 principals at Dixie Hollins High School. And here's the thing. What I did was I typed in the article on Twitter, or I typed it in on Facebook, and I'm not a creep, but I was looking at posts that were public, so I was looking at all the comments. And supposedly she was one of those principals where she would really crack down on underage drinking. She's one of those principals where, like, if you were wearing, like, leggings, and then you were, like, let's say, drinking a coffee in the hallway, that was one example I saw, she would put you in detention. So she's one of those principals where she literally would get off on a power trip because she would see that kids were acting up, and then all of a sudden she gets a DUI. It's always the people that have the power trips at these schools are the ones with the demons in their closet. It's always the teachers or the principals that take their job too seriously are the ones that you have to look out for. It says she's 45 years old, so she should know better. I'm not saying if she was in her 20s it'd be any different, but she had bloodshot, watery eyes, a dazed and blank expression on her face, the odor of a beverage on her breath, and she was unable to walk on her feet correctly. You know, she'd be that type of principal where she would come down hard on a drinking party. And even if a kid was just there for 5 minutes, she would give you a drinking ticket at school and you would be suspended for 4 days. But when it happens to her, she has the pity party face on her mugshot, like her crap doesn't smell. She has the pity party on her face, like, oh, feel bad for me, I screwed up. And it's absolutely funny, because if I were Dixie Hollins High School, I would fire her tomorrow. If you guys don't fire her, you have to wonder about the credibility of schools nowadays. Because they're so preachy about how these kids at age 16 get drunk. Like, there was an example at my high school back in Illinois. This girl was like 15 years old walking home from a party, and the guy that was on the lacrosse team drove home drunk. And then he ran her over, and he served like 5 years in jail. And now he's like preaching against DUIs. Good for him, I guess. But what I'm saying is, they're always so preachy about don't drink. They're always so preachy about bossing kids around. And it's always so funny when you see these teachers and these principals, especially Dr. Mary Jean Taylor. She's one of those principals that got a power trip from using the word doctor. And you know, those were always the worst principal power trip from putting the word doctor in their name because they went to school for 8 years. I can think of a few examples in my life of teachers or principals or superintendents that had the word doctor in their name, and they were always the one that were hard to get along with. And what's really sad is her bond was just $500. So if I'm correct, they have to post 10%, so then that'd be $50. It's just really, really sad that I hope she loses her job. Because if you don't get rid of her, you're basically saying it's okay for a 45-year-old adult to get a DUI. Her second one in 3 years. But, you know, if you're a kid and you're a quarterback on the team, maybe they'll let it slide. But maybe they wouldn't let it slide if it was a loser. It's just funny how things work. And if I'm Dixie Hollins High School, I'm getting rid of her immediately, and I will never, ever use her as a reference. If I'm Dixie Hollins High School, I'm never, ever referring her if she ever applies for another job. Because this is her second DUI in 3 years, and she should know better. Especially in 2017, where we have Lyft and Uber, and you have the 727-777-7777 number that's on every taxi here in the Tampa Bay area. And you know, you can drive home and call that if you want to be traditional and get a taxi, or you can walk home. And what I love too is I love when people bitch about, oh, but I don't want to park my car at the bar. What if it gets towed for $500? It's like, if you get taken in for a DUI, your bond's $500, and then you have to pay $17,000 for the DUI charges, and then you have your license suspended for 6 months, and you lose all cred, and you're a piece of dirt if you get a DUI. So I never get the drunk people that will complain about, well, I want to drive home because I don't want to get my car towed, but it's like, would you rather pay the $500 and get it back the next day and not put people's lives on the line? Or would you rather be taken in? Just saying. All right, tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Message me via the Hoppe Radio app. And let me know what you think. Maybe you went to Dixie Hollins High School. I will keep you anonymous. Even if you have the name on the video, I will keep you anonymous. If you have any comments about everything that went down, or maybe you know some inside info, let me know. All right, we will be right back on Happy Hour after this. Do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you are listening to my show. I put the like 4 seconds of dead air because my internet's so slow that if I go and I play the drop right away, when I edit it afterwards, it goes over it. So that's why there's the 5 seconds of dead air.
Hey, what's up? This is Ron.
What did you think of that rant, babe?
Happy Hour podcast.
No comment? Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Andy, my count the punch out. And
I see a thumbs up.
That I won that fight was because of the training. that I got from Main Event Boxing in St. Petersburg.
Good question.
Now, maybe you're
Are
not
all?
even going into
Is
a
there zero
boxing
reason you will
match, but
accept?
You want to get into shape, and you're sick and tired of looking at your gut, and you're sick and tired of going
Doesn't
to the
matter. I'll
gym
explain.
and getting average
What's my
results.
pain?
And you're saying to yourself, man, how could I get into the best shape of my life, especially here in Tampa Bay, where you should have a summer body all the time. Trust me, I'm a man of my words. When you
We'll be
need to
back
go
in like a
to
minute.
Main Event Boxing in St. Pete, there are so much good things about them, including the fact that they have a high-intensity 30-minute body workout.
Ranting
which
sometimes
focuses
just
on
takes the
every
hell
part
out of
your
me, so
body
you gotta
and conditioning. They will make sure
sip
they will
on the
outweigh you out,
wine.
and each
Don't laugh at
day
me,
they
babe. Why are you
work out,
flicking me off?
really
Come on the
do
camera.
care
People
about
want to
seeing
see
the
you.
progress you have
In your
as
nice
a person
dress,
and
laying on my
the
bed. It doesn't sound
muscles
creepy.
you will gain after coming to Main Event Boxing. To get into
like a
contact with
casting
them,
couch.
it's not hard. It's not
Get it,
rocket
babe?
science. All you got to do is call Josh, the owner and trainer, at 727-564-3948.
All right.
That's 727-564-3948.
Let me move this real quick.
Visit them in person at 2575 28th Avenue North, and that's in St. Petersburg. Trust me when I say Main Event Boxing is the best in the Bay.
It's in the fridge. Oh yeah. Sipping on $5 wine from Aldi's. So tasty. So classy. I'm a gentleman.
Tweet Ryan Hoppe at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Snapchat him at Hoppe Radio. And email him anytime
There's
at
ice cream in the fridge.
RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com. Now back to the show.
All right. Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. We have so much to get into, but I'm sipping on wine here during the commercial break like a very unique person, you know? I got it for $5, $5. I got it for, well, what would that be? 20 quarters and tax at Aldi's. And trust me when I say there's never a reason you should go to any wine place. There's never a reason you should ever pay so much for wine when you can get this type of barefoot pink Moscato for $5. It's classy, you know? The funny part was I bought it for my girlfriend and I ended up drinking all of it like a douche. People want to see you on camera, babe, but you're just too cool for us. Flicking me off over here. I definitely want to do another show with my girlfriend soon because I did appreciate the free publicity on the radio in a top 20 market, and it had like 1,200 views. The other thing was, it made me feel really bad about myself because like I try to do something with this show. Like I know it's not the most like original show, a guy complaining about the news, but I really do this show to entertain the audience, and I want people to like listen to it while I work. Like my goal for the show is to entertain you people. But it does hurt when I'll get like 100, 200 live viewers on this. Like, I don't mind it. It's decent numbers. But then I have the name for my video when my girlfriend was on. My girlfriend is live, and it has 2,000 live viewers. And you go, oh, I get it. Women do help. All right, we have so much to get into here. Megyn Kelly's ratings continue to dip low as she is getting crushed by good old 60 Minutes. Even though there are reruns during the summer. As she announces she will be off during the she will be off the air next Sunday during her limited summer run. So basically, when you have a show during the summer, you're supposed to crush it. That's why America's Got Talent does so well. During the summer, the shows that are on TV are the ones that weren't good enough to be on during the regular season, but they signed a contract. So they have to air them, or it's the awful sitcoms that got canceled after 9 episodes, or it's reruns, or it's America's Got Talent, or So You Think You Can Dance. So when you're Megyn Kelly, and you're one of the biggest names in TV media, and you're having record low numbers, that is not a good sign, and you should not have left Fox News. I'm just saying. Because there's no reason you should be getting crushed that bad when there's absolutely nothing on during the summer. And the name they have for her, the show, Sunday Night with Megyn Kelly, is just so boring. It's so awful. Like, you have one of the most known female news anchors in the world, and you go with Sunday Night with Megyn Kelly. It pulled in 3.41 mil viewers on Sunday, down from 3.5 million viewers the week prior. This was also down from 3.61 million viewers who watched the second week, and 6.1 million who tuned in for the premiere. So each week, the ratings keep on going down. But here's the good part for Megyn Kelly. Here's the one good thing she can hang her hat on. She did manage to retain 96% of her audience from the week prior, when she had that dirtbag, that hack, that loser known as Alex Jones. And I never, ever, ever like to comment on anybody in radio. Because I'm doing this podcast, I'm not even on the radio yet. I'm on the radio occasionally at the Bone. I was on a radio show in Cleveland, heard in small cities. I mean, I'm sort of on the radio at times. But the thing is this. I don't like commenting on other people in radio because I feel like I don't deserve to. But trust me when I say that with utter confidence, I will say Alex Jones is a lying hack who had to admit in court that he's a character. The guy said that Sandy Hook was fake, and he has said so much other crap. And if you're honestly into Alex Jones, and I don't mean to be rude, I don't mean to sound awful, but if you're buying his propaganda kit, his end of the world kit, or if you go to Infowars.com for news, it's not that you're an idiot. You're just really into low-hanging fruits. You're also into the WWE. You're also into the Big Bang Theory as a sitcom. You're entertained by anything, because you do know that he's playing a character. I bet when he's off air, he's quiet. I don't think he's like, "Babe, when's the meatloaf ready? The road's about to end." I'm sure when he's not on air, he probably talks like this. I mean, he was on Howard's show one time, and he wasn't talking like this. The road's not going to end. He was talking normally. And that's why I don't appreciate Alex Jones at all. Like, say what you want about Ryan Seacrest or Howard, people you don't agree with. They're genuine. They're themselves. But maybe it's just me, but I don't think Alex Jones is at the drive-thru at McDonald's and he's like, "Hey, bitch, give me a double cheeseburger and a large Coke. The world's about to end. I need food. Life's short." No. Trust me. Just saying. The NBC program, Sunday Night with Megyn Kelly, hit a new season low as it got crushed by America's Funniest Videos. You know it's bad when your show's just been out for a month. Literally, Megyn Kelly, your show has been out for a month and you're getting crushed by the oldest concept ever on TV. Known as America's Funniest Videos. I don't even know if Tom Bergeron does it anymore, but good for him. I never was the biggest fan of him, but I'm able to appreciate what he does as a host. But if you're losing to Tom Bergeron, I mean, good riddance. It says here, it did have good content, though, with her interviewing author J.D. Vance and a report on a company in Florida. Oh, yeah. So unique, you know. So groundbreaking, because when it's a Sunday night and it's the last day of the weekend and you want to relax and you want to be able to just have fun and see something unique before you have to get up Monday morning. Maybe you have a hard-working job at 3 a.m. or maybe you have to get up for your radio job if you're watching and you're on radio. You want to unwind and appreciate the moment. And you want to just relax. That's why people like football or sports. So Megyn Kelly's really doing it right when she's talking about author J.D. Vance and a Florida company. You know? I may not be the smartest guy. I may be awkward, but I will say I do think I would make a good TV producer. I feel like I'd be able to find better content than that. You're literally having your 4th week on TV, and the only reason you got more viewers is because that douchebag Alex Jones wasn't on your show, and you thought that having Alex Jones on your show would bring in ratings. I mean, come on. Oh, yeah. And the guy she had on, J.D. Vance, is an author, and he is known for his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy. And it's about the Appalachian values. And yeah, he's a bestseller. Shut up, cat. Maybe this is why my show will never make it on the radio, is because I'm trying to talk about Megyn Kelly and have a legit segment, and here is my cat just crashing the show. Ugh, attention. She always needs the attention. But yes, that is why your ratings are bad, JD Vance. Or that is why your ratings are bad, Megyn Kelly, is because you're having people like JD Vance on. All right. People are commenting live. They're saying Alex Jones does it on purpose. Well, yeah, I know that, Jimmy. But the thing is this. Be real. Don't lie. I'm not saying this about you. I'm saying this about Alex Jones. He is the best at viral content. But the thing is, he shares legit fake news. Like, I hate saying fake news because Trump came up with that word, but he legit sends out fake news and these idiots believe it. And the thing is, I don't respect it because it's not genuine. Say what you want about Howard or the era of the shock jocks or the top 40 radio DJs that are annoying, but they legit are always genuine. And Jimmy comments on Hoppe TV as well. So does CNN. They have fake news. Bro, everybody has fake news, but when you look at Alex Jones's fake news on Infowars.com, you look at it and you laugh. At least CNN, it has a bias, but it seems like it's somewhat believable. But you look at Alex Jones and you're like, this idiot's out of his mind. This idiot's fake. All right, enough about Alex Jones. I feel like all the viewers I have on my show right now all went to listen to Alex Jones because they're so interested in that hack. All right. Here's the point, or here's the deal. We're going to come back on Hoppe Hour, and we have so much to get into, but I want to hear from you guys. Tweet at me, at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and keep commenting on the Hoppe Radio app or on Hoppe TV. Hunter chimes in, Alex Jones is ridiculous. No, some of the acts on America's Got Talent are ridiculous. Alex Jones is a hack. I'm sorry. All right. Here's the deal. We will be right back. Do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you listen to my show. Got to have like the 5 seconds of dead air to make sure it doesn't play over. I got a great setup here. All right. What do you think of my show, Melissa?
What's up? This is Ryan Hoppe from Hoppe Hour, and I have a very special shout out to one of the sponsors of this award-winning podcast. Nicholas Seymour from Duluth, Minnesota is the
Minnesota.
owner of Soli's
You hear that, babe?
which is a badass
Minnesota.
that will make you
Come on camera real quick. Melissa, people want to see you.
It's not too hard. For just
You do not look like you're about it at all.
support this award-winning podcast while supporting small business here in
Yeah,
America.
she's not about it.
Or maybe
Over
you
here,
have a
Lily.
band, a company, a freelancing project.
Good
and you want
point.
to have your logo made into a nice, badass decal. Nick is
So we got this
down
at
for
Target?
making deals, and he is very
So I got it
good
at
at
Aldi's.
negotiating.
I'm an
If you want
alcoholic.
to get into contact with Nick, it's not hard. Trust me. He will answer your call real quick, and he is one of the nicest guys I know. His number is 330-419-0691. That is 330-419-0691. Or you
I
can
try,
send him
babe.
an email. Solly's Design.
Coming from the girl that thought that Detroit was in Chicago, I'll take it with a grain of salt.
And to check out Hoppe Hour
You are?
for just
The revelation on
$4,
Hoppe
go to
TV.
tinyurl.com
My girlfriend's leaving me.
/Hoppe Hour decal. It is tinyurl.com.
Why don't you actually like pack up and leave after this?
And when you
I'll
talk
actually
to
be
my
sad.
guy, Nick, just
I'll be like I'm a
say that Ryan
douchebag.
Hoppe sent you, and he will give you
Am I?
a badass deal. Trust my word, pimps. Nick's
I gotta edit that. I hate the word pimps.
graphics is the best around.
I'm like such a tool. Alright, babe. Oh yeah! It's a party up at Hoppe Hour. Woo! Alrighty. Welcome back to the show. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. We have so much to get into. Such an important show. Alright, it's time for NBA news. There's so much going on. I never was good at basketball. But I will say this. I've watched it for 10 years. So I'd like to think, that I know something. And I don't get the media's obsession with Lonzo Ball. Here's my thing. And with LeVar Ball. People are saying, is it because he's black? No. If it was because he's black, then nobody would watch the NBA and we'd all be racist. Nobody cares that he's black. That's not the issue. It never is. The issue is that LeVar Ball is that obnoxious dad that lives through his kids because he averaged 2.2 points per game when he was in college. He was a loser. He never was able to make it to the big times. So now he lives through his kids in an unhealthy way. And it's really, really sad to see. And here's my point about that. Is I remember when sports journalism was actually about breaking down how the players might do in the regular season. I remember when sports journalism was about trying to figure out how the players will do. But I swear, because of the 30-mile zone, because of TMZ and Harvey Levin coming up with TMZ Sports, the four-letter network in sports journalism and FS1 and NBC Sports, it's all about doing tabloids and getting the latest clickbait. And sports journalism's dead. Like, I saw this headline, and it was like, where's sports radio going to be in 30 years? And it's like, it's going to be TMZ. Because if you're not talking about how Lonzo Ball is actually going to do when he's playing basketball on the Los Angeles Lakers, where they have a high draft pick, and hopefully he can be a great player, since they are missing a player since Kobe retired, no one's talking about that. And that's what's sad, is when you're not actually talking about the kid that has talent and that was able to make it into the NBA, unlike his daddy that lives through him. You have to talk about his dad, and it's just very, very sad. Like, if you're a sports journalist, you really want to get on TV, You really, really want to be the person that gets to go on ESPN, and you have your shining moment. If you're somebody at the four-letter network or FS1 or NBC Sports, like, you're on TV. Why don't you appreciate the moment and come up with innovative content? Why do you keep talking about that douchebag known as LeVar Ball? And now I know you're going to say, but Ryan, you're talking about LeVar Ball, so you're no different. Ryan, you're giving him the time of day, so you're no different. But I'm actually explaining why the media shouldn't talk about him. The media treats it as legit news. Like, I was looking at TMZ, and I know it's not a news source. They're just people that break paparazzi news. But they, interviewed Lonzo Ball's grandpa, so that's LeVar Ball's dad. And he's like, yeah, my son LeVar would have beat Michael Jordan one-on-one. It's like, get the hell out of here. The one thing I will respect LeVar Ball for, and Jimmy chimed in on Hoppe TV, is he says his dad was able to make his kid money. But here's my thing. Here's why LeVar Ball should not get that much credit for making Lonzo money. Lonzo was a great player at UCLA. He was going to be a high draft pick anyway. He was drafted on the Lakers. It's not like he's a player that got drafted in the second round and would have had to fight through the NBA D-League and hopefully get on a team. If he plays his cards right, he could be the next big thing in the NBA. So, he has all the talent in the world. He shouldn't have to live off his daddy to get sponsorships. He shouldn't have to have his daddy help him. If he has the talent to make it in the NBA, your daddy shouldn't be there helping you. Did LeBron James' mom help him? Did Carmelo Anthony or Kobe Bryant or Vince Carter or Allen Iverson or Shaq or Michael Jordan? Did any of them have to rely on their dad? Yeah, some of them have public relationships with their parents. Like Curry, it seems like a good family. They're Christian, but they never, ever had to sell their son in the way of marketing to get attention. They never, ever had to be a pitchman for their son because all those players had the talent to get it done. That's what I'm saying. Also, Melissa chimed in, my girlfriend. Ryan wishes he was in the NBA. Well, no duh. Like, when I have free time, I'm playing NBA 2K because I wish I was good enough. Thank you for that comment. It didn't make me feel bad or anything. I also see here, the Los Angeles Lakers have a better shot at getting LeBron than the Clippers. And that would be very interesting because LeBron James has 1 year left on his contract at the Cavaliers. And we know that Kyrie Irving said that if LeBron doesn't re-sign, he doesn't know if he wants to come back. And I would agree too. I mean, I'm not going to hate on Cleveland. It's what got me some radio experience, I guess. But what I'm saying is, it's not the market you want to spend the rest of your life in. It's not a market you want to do radio in for the rest of your life. It's not a market you want to play in unless you have a really good basketball team, or the Browns will never be good at football. So unless you're on the Cavs and you win a championship in 2016, nobody ever says, oh man, I want to settle down in Cleveland. I'm just saying. And I know that's a hacky, very unoriginal approach to talking about Cleveland, but I'm just saying, like, it's an all right city. It's not as bad as people make it out to be, but it's not a city I'd want to live in again. So I'm not surprised when LeBron James and Kyrie Irving are talking about wanting to get out of town, potentially. I mean, I don't think things ever really cleared up with the Cavaliers owner, whose name is not coming to my mind, and LeBron James. I mean, he wrote that letter about how they were going to win a championship before him in 2011, and then LeBron James won a championship in 2012, and then in 2014, and then on the Cavs in 2016. So the Cavs obviously did not win before LeBron. So you know there's got to be tension there. Just saying. And I think it would be very unique to see what happens with the Lakers if they were to get LeBron James. And what would happen to the East? Would the Celtics then become the power team that would lose every year? I mean, it just seems like the NBA is going down a really bad path where you think about it and you're like Warriors, Cavaliers, maybe Celtics. Like the Timberwolves just added Jimmy Butler, and you go, they might have a nice playoff run. They might go 7 games in the first round or maybe 5 games in the second round. But the thing is this. You got to think about it. It's not fair to any NBA fan when you think about all these super teams that are taking over the league, and then you have LeBron James saying that the Miami Heat were never a super team and he's never been on a super team. You just roll your eyes at where the NBA is going. I mean, if I'm like the Timberwolves or the Hornets, I'm going, what do I have to do to be a good team? And I saw that Jerry West is now a consultant who's going to help out the Clippers in their basketball relations. And we do know that Jerry West is pretty much the logo of the NBA. And we do know that Jerry West helped out the Lakers and the Warriors. And Jerry West has a very good basketball mind. So I wouldn't be surprised if he helps out the Clippers, but when you see that Chris Paul and Blake Griffin want to potentially leave the team, the 2 players that they have built the team around, you have to wonder what is going to go on and how Jerry West could potentially help out the Clippers. He's 79 years old. I hate to say it, but he's beginning to approach the end of his life. You have to wonder what he will be able to accomplish. Just saying. But if Jerry West can at least make the Clippers a champion one time, then he is one of the best basketball minds of all time. Another thing I see here. The Atlanta Hawks have a 2-year, $192 million renovation for the Hawks home arena. The Atlanta Hawks can't even sell out the arena. Atlanta Hawk fans only show up when they're in the playoffs for any team. If it's the Braves, if it's the Hawks, or the Falcons, they only care in the playoffs. They're fair weather fans. They're one of the worst fan bases in this whole country. So you have a lot of issues in Atlanta. It's a nice city, but it has a bad part of town. It has a lot of issues. It's very corrupt. So yeah, let's not use the $192 million to help out a city that needs help. No. Let's make renovations to an arena of a fan base of fans that don't really care about their team, and a fan base that just lost Dwight Howard and will probably end up losing a lot more players. Yeah, let's renovate, because the renovations is what's going to really bring in the fans. Not the fact that you never really won any championships ever with Dominique Wilkins or with Joe Johnson, Josh Smith, Al Horford, Mike Bibby, Marvin Williams back 5-7 years ago. You've had all these chances to be great, and you've never been able to go over the hump. But yeah, let's make that the franchise. Let's make that where we renovate the Hawks franchise. Yeah. Makes sense. No. Let's not try and bring in players or try and recruit talent. No, let's care about how our arena looks in a city that barely cares about their team. Tweet at me. Are you an Atlanta Hawks fan? Let me know what you think. At Ryan Hoppe Radio on Twitter, or get the Hoppe Radio app and you can chat me live and listen anywhere in the world. Jimmy, who is watching the show, I will try to say his last name, but I would say it wrong. But he's been chiming in. He said, what is your favorite team? I have 3 favorite teams. Number 1, obviously the Bulls, because I'm from Chicago. Can't you tell by my very annoying Midwest accent? Number 2 is the Lakers, and I'm not a bandwagon fan. I'm not a guy that joined the Lakers because of Kobe. My uncle moved to Los Angeles in like 1979. He lived in Cleveland, but he moved to Los Angeles, and he moved the year Magic Johnson was a rookie. So he's been a Lakers fan for almost 40 years. So it's one of those things where growing up, I was too young for the Shaq Kobe era, but I remember like Kobe Bryant in like 2006 scoring 81 points and reading about it and watching it on YouTube because I didn't have cable. And I watched them in 2007 when they got Pau Gasol and they drafted Andrew Bynum. And then they lost in 6 games to the Celtics in 2008. And they beat the Magic in 2009. And then beat the Celtics in a thrilling Game 7 in 2010. And in 2011, I believe, lost to the Mavericks in the playoffs. And in 2012, lost to the Lakers. Or lost to the Thunder, rather. And then in 2013, they have not made the playoffs since then. So I am a very big fan of the Los Angeles Lakers, because back in high school, when kids would make fun of me, they'd be like, Hoppe, you're not a Lakers fan. Hoppe, you're bandwagon. Melissa, guess what I would do? I'm talking to my girlfriend, she's not paying attention. I would dress up in all yellow. I would have yellow basketball shorts on, a yellow Kobe Bryant jersey that I got for $10 at Marshall's. It wasn't even an official jersey, and yellow shoes. And I would wonder why kids would make fun of me. I couldn't even grab a rebound in gym class, but I was trying to dress up like Kobe Bryant, my favorite player. And on the weekend when I wasn't invited to parties, I would play NBA 2K all day long. And my dad would be like, Ryan, when are you going to get a job? And I worked at a grocery shop for about 24 hours, more like 7 hours, and then I quit. I couldn't take it. I walked out and never came back. And then my first job was getting catfished by a radio show in Cleveland. So now I'm here. My dad would be proud. No, he's not. All right. I see this here, and this is from Bro Bible, and they have some pretty good NBA news. It says here, and this is about Draymond Green, who to me just needs to shut up. He was never, ever this obnoxious at Michigan State, but it seems like he's so cocky. And here's what I read. I read this meme online about Draymond Green, and I thought it was brilliant. It's so funny. It said Draymond Green is the guy that sort of does a little bit of work on a science project, and when the team gets an A+, he takes credit for it. Like, he helped contribute to it, but it's not like he's the main piece that would ever help a franchise win a championship. You're never going to make a team around Draymond Green. He's never going to ever sell out arenas. He's not Curry or Klay Thompson or Kevin Durant. He's a nice player. He's good. But he's so cocky. And it's like, dude, if you were on any other team, you wouldn't be as good. I mean, look at Harrison Barnes. He was a nice contributor to the Warriors. But look what he did on the Dallas Mavericks. Nothing. Look at Monte Ellis. Once he left, Curry was able to shine. Draymond Green, if it wasn't for you being on the Warriors, you'd be nothing, bro. You'd be just another player. And I mean that. All right. It says here, Draymond Green was not happy that he was not consulted about the Warriors' latest draft pick. On Friday, Warriors GM Bob Myers, most bland name ever, spoke to the media and said that the Warriors' star forward cussed him out after the team drafted Jordan Bell. Keep it classy. In the second round of the draft. You know what, Draymond Green? Shut up. You were drafted in the second round, everybody passed up on you. So maybe if you're so great at basketball, Draymond Green, maybe if you're so worth of these big contracts and you're so worthy of everyone's attention, maybe have hope and faith in your GM, Bob Myers, and take Jordan Bell under your wing and not be a douchebag who has to make everything about him. How is that going to make Jordan Bell feel? Is he going to feel good that one of the best players on the team, like the fourth best, is all of a sudden not appreciating you? It's going to ruin the team. Draymond, you idiot. Dummy. Oh, you didn't consult me about this draft pick. Out of any NBA player on that team that the Warriors would be consulting about a draft pick, it wouldn't be Draymond Green. It would either be Kevin Durant, the finals MVP that averaged 30 points and helped the team win the championship, or Curry, who's been an MVP, or even, I don't know, Klay Thompson, a part of the Splash Brothers duo. No. But Draymond Green, the narcissist that he is, has to make it about him. Supposedly, he sent a text to Draymond Green sent a text to the GM and said, "What the F is your problem? How dare you not tell me about it?" And then the GM said, "All right, calm down." Okay. I don't get these players that get such a big head. It's like, listen, Draymond, listen, buddy. If you weren't on the Warriors, nobody would care about you. Nobody really cared about you at Michigan State. You were a nice player. You helped Michigan State contribute and get into the finals, and do well. Or no, they didn't make it to the finals, but they did well in March Madness. But you were drafted in the second round, bro. You weren't a top-tier pick, bro. I don't get these players that let it get to their head. I see that Eric Zane of the Eric Zane Show on 107.3 WBBL in Grand Rapids is watching live. He's got one of the best talk shows in this country. I was a fan of him on the previous morning show he worked on, and I listen to his podcast as often as I can. And he was one of the highest listened to shows that I have ever had on my show. When I had him after he was unemployed for like 2 weeks and then got his morning show at 107.3 WBBL in Grand Rapids, he shared and retweeted the video, or the podcast rather, and it got 10,000 listens in a day. So Grand Rapids is legit. And Eric Zane responds with, "Thank you." Anytime, man. I mean it. I'm not just saying it. Anyway, I'm really, really burnt out of talking. I think Melissa is too, because she lives with me. If you guys aren't aware, in this little small apartment I live in, my girlfriend lives with me. So when I'm doing the show, I only have so much speed on my Wi-Fi, because I have the small plan for $50 a month with Bright House. I can't afford to have cable and a phone, but why have a home phone? So when I'm doing the show, she is unable to do anything. She is unable to use the Kindle, unable to watch my decent TV that Mike Kelta got me. She's unable to do anything because I'm here doing the show. And I'm just letting the show go on and on, so she's not able to do anything. And then she'll be really mad at me, and she'll sleep on the opposite side of the bed for the next 3 weeks. All right, if you want to check out Happy Hour, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. Go to the app shop in Google Play or the iOS. Search up Hoppe Radio, HOPPE Radio. And there you can chat me live. And you can listen anywhere like you are right now. Help me get on the ballot for Best Local Podcast here in Tampa Bay by the Creative Loafing. Even though they take everybody on the ballot. I want to get on the ballot. Even though I was under Best Morning Show last year in Tampa Bay. Even though I'm not on in the morning, and I was under Best Local Citizen. What do you think of that, Melissa? I was one of the candidates for Best Local Citizen here in Tampa. She just gave me a thumbs down. She doesn't approve. I do want to make it onto the ballot. I mean, anything could happen. Maybe I wouldn't make it, but help me. It really helps me out. Look, I have it hanging on my door, even though one time I came home drunk and I made coffee for some reason and I spilled it on my sign. So now my best local podcast sign, you see here, it has a coffee thing on there. It's ruined forever. Kind of like my chances in this business. All right, that was an awkward note. Add me on all social media platforms at Ryan Hoppe Radio. But on Snapchat, I made the name Hoppe Radio like 5 years ago, and I can't change it. Babe, I made that when I was in high school. I wasn't even in radio yet, and I made it Hoppe Radio, but it won't let me change it to Ryan Hoppe Radio. So Snapchat me, at Hoppe Radio. Please don't send me any D-pics. I've had maybe 3 D-pics in my life. I've never had a nude shot. Don't send me any because I'm in a relationship now. But yeah, working in Male Talk Radio really brings out the D-pics. That's what you want to see. You want to see chodes. Mm-hmm. That's what we all aspire for. When we work in radio, we go, man, I just want to see some chodes. All right. This is ending on a weird note. This has been Happy Hour. I appreciate you guys listening. I see that Eric Arvizu, who is an 8-year veteran on the Bones Promotions team and a veteran of this country, is watching live. Hello, sir. Hope everything's going well. Melissa's plugging herself as well on Hoppe TV. Add me, tallest_blonde on Twitter. Yeah, see her tweet every 3 days a meme from Funny Girl or some weird Twitter account. Or saying how she loves me every month when I do something nice. She'll be like, oh, Ryan loves me or something. Anyway, love you too, Arvizu. And I love you guys for watching the show. I am out of here. Bye.